What's going on, everyone? Z-Boss here. Welcome to our Miami Heat rebuild. So we're looking at the team here. Of course, we have Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin. We have Kyle Lowry, who's old, Raptors legend. We love that guy. Duncan Robinson's big contract. Jovic. At the trade deadline, we are sitting at it's not good, not bad. We're sitting basically at 500, which isn't good, isn't bad. This team's window to win is now. So the stats are kind of going to, 21, 18 for Bam, basically 18, 5, and 4 for Hero. Kevin Love and even Duncan Robinson, he was out for the season, but he was doing decently before he got hurt. But we're going to be kind of looking and seeing what we can kind of get on the trade market for Kyle Lowry. So we're going to be looking around here. We see John Collins, which, thinking about it now, would have been a good trade. But I don't think we pulled the trigger. I think we kind of want to keep this somewhat realistic and, keep who we have. But as I was saying before, this Heat team's window to win is now. I mean, Jimmy Butler, he's 33, 34 now. Bam's young, Hero's young, but really this team is constructed around Jimmy Butler. If he plays good, he can, take you to NBA. He can take you deep in the playoffs. So as always, like and subscribe if you like this video. It really helps me out. But we're basically going to be ending off the year here at, I think we were 46. Yeah, 45 and 37. So a good season. All the awards basically go to who you think. Tyronn Lue wins Coach of the Year. We're looking at All-NBA teams. Jimmy Butler makes a third All-NBA team, which is very good. You really like to see stuff like that. We don't get any rookies because we don't have any rookies. Looking at the stats here, we finish off as a 5th seed. We finished a little bit better in that second half of the year, which is always good. Going to player stats now, Jimmy Butler had a really good year. Hero had a really, not a really improved year, but a really good year. Bam had a really good year. So these players, these top players on this team are performing well. So in the first round, we're going to be playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Always a dangerous team. But we kind of, we let them come back down. I think it was 3-0. We let them come back. We beat them in 7, thankfully. Now we're playing the Hawks with, of course, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, all these kind of players. So we're playing really, these teams are young. The Cleveland Cavaliers are a younger team. The Atlanta Hawks are a younger team. Not their whole players, but their star player, Trae Young is the thing. But we sweep them. We go against the Boston Celtics. You already know who the Boston Celtics have, so we're not even gonna look at their team. We go up 3-1. We beat them in 5. Now who are we playing in the finals? We get to the finals the first year. We're playing the Clippers. Clippers go up 1-0. We tie at 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. I'm this is I barely see the Clippers in the finals. And the one year that I don't want to see them, because I think this would be a really good series if in real life. But unfortunately, we didn't get the better there. Kawhi wins MVP. The Clippers take over LA. Whatever. Of course, JaVale McGee retires. Hall of Famer, probably. We don't have any draft picks in this draft. Magic get the first. Pistons get the second. We still got Spoelstra for a little bit. Now, Caleb Martin's going to decline. Josh Richardson's going to decline. So in free agency, we're kind of looking at, we're going to bring back Hayward Haysmith, I believe. But we're kind of looking and seeing what we can do. I think this is where we decide, you know what, Kyle Lowry's not Kyle Lowry, but we're going to try to get rid of Duncan Robinson, I do believe. So Duncan Robinson, that $18 million contract, he can play good, but he can't play, he can't play up to $18 million a year. But we see a trade for Russ on $4 million a year. So number one, we're getting Russ, which is a big upgrade for us, especially if he doesn't decline too much. And also, it's a pay, we give away cap. So hopefully they won't be able to sign Kawhi. And I don't think they do. I think Kawhi goes to Philadelphia. But with that money, we're going to re-sign everyone we have, or everyone that we had at free agency, and we're going to maybe pick up a guy maybe a Grayson Allen. Maybe we're going to kind of see what this team needs. So we need a backup point guard. I think we're set at the power forward and maybe the center spot. This backup center, maybe we could do a little bit better on. But I think we're going to bring in a point guard. Of course, it's going to be Kyle Lowry to kind of be that old piece, that old veteran. Because you guys, by the way, also bring in Joe Harris. So you bring in Kyle Lowry, bring in Joe Harris. Now this team's looking a little bit more deep. It's looking a little deeper as you go throughout the rotation. So we're going to get to progression here. Of course, Jimmy Butler doesn't go down. Hero goes up by 2. Westbrook goes up by 1, which I find really funny because I'm so used to, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm so used to in 2K, all the players, when they reach like 30 years old, I'm just like, trade them. You know, they're just going to be regressing just majorly. Just get rid of them once they reach 30. But I don't know what it is, if it's this draft class or if it's a game, not the draft class, but the scenario that I downloaded or what, but these old players don't seem to be regressing as fast, which I've been noticing. So halfway mark of the NBA of the season here, we are second in the East. Player stats, Hero's almost averaging 20. Bam's averaging 18. Butler's basically averaging 18. All three players are really having a good year, with Russ also contributing 14, 7, and 9. I think it's a very good team that we constructed here in the second season. But we're just going to keep going. Let me know in the comment section down below who you guys want to see me rebuild next, because I'm trying to go through all the teams here with their like updated rosters. But then after that, like I want to have some like creative things. So we're going to re-sign Bam Adebayo to a 3-year extension. But yeah, if you want to see me rebuild like historic teams, or maybe you want to see me rebuild like an 07-08 team, if I can download a class, or not a class, but a scenario where it's 07-08, I can do that. But yeah, just let me know. So we're basically net out this year here. I don't think we get 30 losses. We might get 30 losses, I don't know. 50 and 31, 50 and 32. Brogdon went 6-man. Leonard on the Philadelphia, which I was looking at for a second. I'm like, oh, good, because like I don't want to face that in the West anymore. But now he's in the East, so we're gonna have to deal with them in the playoffs. So in the second year, we end off with the second seed. We go against the Charlotte Hornets in the first season. Do we look at stats again? I might have forgot. So we look at stats again. Yeah, all the players basically had a pretty solid year. Everyone that we kind of expected to have a good year. I think Russ was hurt for the first round. I think he had a 2 to 4 week injury. But in the first round, playing the Charlotte Hornets, we go up 1-0. We go up 2-0. We go up 3-0. We sweep them. Now we're playing the Atlanta Hawks. They basically have the same team as they had last year. A few differences, like no Clint Capella. Dylan Brooks, I think, wasn't on their team last year. I completely forget. But we beat them in 6. 6? Yeah. We beat them in 6, and then the conference finals we're playing Philadelphia, so we're playing Kawhi again. Kawhi and Joel Embiid, that is a dangerous team. With Tyrese Maxey as well, it's a very dangerous team. But we're going to hope. We're going to hope we are the highest seed. I think we have a really good team this year. 2-1, 2-2, 3-2. Is Kawhi going to be our kryptonite in this rebuild? We will see. We go up. We have a pretty decent first quarter. Pretty decent second quarter. Third quarter, they kind of start coming back. Fourth quarter, it's a really close game. It's very close. But unfortunately, we lose by 2. It really sucks. I think it was Embiid had a really solid game, almost a 50-point piece. So now it goes Mavericks against the 76ers. Mavericks win in 6. So that happened. Kyle Lowry retired, so it sucks we couldn't get him another ring. Free agency, we didn't really have any draft picks or anything like that. We're just going to kind of bring back the guys that we already had. So we're going to bring back them, and maybe we're going to bring in, I think we make another signing. We're kind of going to see what this team needs. So we need a point guard because Kyle Lowry retired, and we didn't bring back Russ. We really need a backup center. We really need a point guard. So I think I'm going to bring in, I'm kind of looking here, and I always see Anthony Black in free agency, and I never know why. Because he's a young point guard. He was drafted highly by the Orlando Magic. He's always there, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give him a little chance. I'm going to give him a try, see how he kind of does. Unfortunately, he doesn't last too long. If you go into the third season, he does get traded. But yeah, we're kind of just going to see how this team does. We're going to bring in a backup center. Or a backup. Is there a backup center? I think it was a backup center. Yeah, because we need another point guard. We don't need a shooting guard because we brought back, or another center, sorry. Because we brought back, what's his name? Sorry, I'm completely blanking on his name right now. But we're going to bring in a few more bench pieces. Jason Tate, Micic. I don't know. I didn't really see his name to Micic. We're going to bring him back in. Now, this team, again, it's looking pretty, like, this Heat team is very well constructed to the point where bench players can kind of be interchangeable. Eric Spoelstra is also an amazing coach. So, you kind of also have that going for you. But here we are going into season number 3, should I say. Downloading the draft class. And we will be going. We'll look at the team first. Anthony Black, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Bam Adebayo, Jovic, Jaquez Jr., Jason Tate. So, what do this team needs? I think we have to get rid of Caleb Martin. So this is what I'm thinking. And I'm kind of looking around. I'm seeing Kenya Martin Jr. I'm seeing Zubac. I'm seeing Gabe Vincent. I don't want to bring back Gabe Vincent. But I see this one draft pick, or I see this one trade, which realistically doesn't make too much sense. It doesn't make that much sense. Anthony Black, we're going to be trading him. And we see Ahmed Thompson, who is a very high draft pick in this year's draft. Why the Houston Rockets would trade him so soon in his career, I don't know. But again, if 2K is going to be allowed to get cheesed, we're going to be cheesing it all day long. So halfway through the year here, we're having a really bad year. Hero's averaging 20, Bam's averaging 17. Ahmed's having a decent year for how young he is. He's a beast on the defensive end, though. He's an absolute monster defensively. So we're going to be looking maybe at Tyler Hero. We're going to be looking at kind of maybe trading him, try to get a piece that will help us kind of win now. Really give us that push to the play. So we see this one trade, Ahmed Thompson, for Bobby Portis Jr., who we're going to move to the power forward position. I think he's 6'11", so we're not going to have him playing center over Bam. And James Harden. So James Harden comes to the Miami Heat alongside Bobby Portis Jr. But then we're like, oh no, now we need a point guard. So we're going to be trading Caleb Martin, I think it is. We're going to be trading Caleb Martin and a first round pick for, and again, this is a great thing about 2K. Wait for it. We look at Gabe Vincent. There he is again. Ahmed Thompson. Yep, we just traded you to him, but let's just have him right back. So we're going to be trading for Ahmed Thompson straight back because that's what 2K wants. And I mean, again, if it's going to be allowed to be cheesable, I'm going to cheese it. It's all about winning these championships out here. But we're looking at the team here. The team, I think, is very solid. Our bench is okay. I think your starting lineup has really took an improvement. For our defensive lacking in our point guard, shooting guard, with the defensive lack of James Harden, I think that Ahmed Thompson and Jimmy Butler can really help out for that and allow us to kind of have more scoring. So we're going to go through the second half of the year. We're sitting at 500. And we kind of, at the beginning of the second half of the year, we kind of go 500. We're getting wins, but we're also getting losses. But so as we're getting wins, we're getting losses. We kind of go on a little streak, which is really good. So we finished 41-41. I don't go on a streak. Westbrook wins 6th man of the year. Kawhi wins Depoy. I don't think we get maybe Bam. Yeah, Bam gets all NBA third team, which is excellent for him. You love to see that for the Ahmed Thompson gets all second team defense. We finish as the 8th seed. So we lose against the Knicks. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. We lose to the Pacers. Which I thought was really unfortunate. I thought we could have went not deep in the playoffs, but I would have really liked to face Philadelphia in the first round. As you see there, Indiana made it all the way to the conference finals. LeBron decides to hang it up. Russ decides to hang it up. Robin Lopez decides to hang it up. Probably the best out of that draft class. Draft lottery. We have a pick here, and because we didn't make the playoffs, it's going to be at around 12. So we get the 12th overall pick. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be our last year. Let's kind of see what we can get. Let's kind of see what's on the board here for the 12th overall pick. So we go to the 12th. We're kind of looking at trades. We see Drew Holiday. And I'm like, it's a 12th overall pick. But I mean, maybe it's it's hard. I was also looking at Jalen Brunson here. But I was really looking at that. Drew Holiday trade because he kind of fits our age profile to the point where, if in 2 to 3 years it doesn't work out, they'll be off the books because they'll all retire. And, there are 2 years. So Ahmed Thompson, we're, of course, going to bring back. Free agency Jovic, we're going to bring back him, too, for just to be another bench piece. Moratorium, we have basically everyone that we already have. We're just going to bring back the guys that we have bird rights on. That's about all we really had in this free agency. So we're looking at the team here. We're going to move James Harden, I think, to the shooting guard position. Yeah, I'm just looking to see. But Drew Holiday, he is 6'5", but it just makes sense for James Harden to be a shooting guard to me. So we really need a power forward. We need a backup thing. So I'm looking kind of who we can get here. And I'm kind of looking at Nikola Jovic to be that guy. And I'm looking at Bruce Brown to be a backup piece for us. So we're going to bring in Bruce Brown. We're going to bring in Jovic again. And then I'm kind of looking, who else can we bring in? I was kind of thinking about Grayson Allen, maybe a TJ Ward, Chris Boucher, we bring him in. So our team's going to be looking like Drew Holiday, Ahmed Thompson, James Harden, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. And I think it's a decent team. Like, I don't think this team is too bad. At least I don't think. I think this team is an NBA contender. We don't have that. I mean, Jimmy Butler is a star, but we don't have that real star piece. In terms of we don't have a 23-year-old that's 99 overall. But we do have very good pieces on this team. We're going to be looking at trades because we have 3 really good point guards, and I don't really want 3 really good point guards. We're going to be trading for Marcus Bagley. See if we can get out of giving them Chris Boucher. I'll give you a few seconds. We're like, no, we don't want to give you Chris Boucher. They keep trying to offer me that. We give them another second. They agreed to that. So it was that easy. The AI was like making it a little tough on you. But yeah, we go into player progression. James Harden goes down a little bit. Not too much, though. Again, they don't seem to regress too much. At least in this year's game. So we go into next season. This is going to be the last year. So we're looking at it. I think we have a good team this year. Halfway through the year, we're kind of looking at trades here. We're looking at trades for Bam, and we trying to look at. I kind of skipped through a whole bunch of the season, but I'm looking at Bam because I'm looking maybe if we can get a guy. I wouldn't trade him unless it was for a guy like Joel Embiid. So we're gonna try to trade Joel Embiid. I think it was Ahmed Thompson. So we're gonna be trading those two. At least we're gonna try to at least. We tried to put Killian Hayes in, which looking back at it was a big mistake, and they were like, we can't get him. So at the halfway mark, we have 35-22, which I think is a really good record. We're performing well for what this team, kind of the expectations are. In the first year or second year, we went deep in the playoffs, and I think this team still has a chance of going deep in the playoffs. I think that this team has a very, it's one of those teams where like the season kind of doesn't matter, but if they can get into the playoffs, I think they always will have a chance of going deep, just because how this team is constructed. So we're going to be going into the playoffs of the final year here. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you watched this far, I really appreciate it. I got a few more subscribers, which it really made my day. I got my first comment, which I know it's not much, but it really made me happy. It really made my day seeing that someone gave me a little bit of support. It's just, if you're watching this video, I really appreciate what you did there. It really made my day. We go down 3-2 against the Charlotte Hornets. Unfortunately, we don't. Well, we get off to a decent start, but in the third quarter, they kind of start pulling away a little bit. Fourth quarter, they lose. So we lose in 6, unfortunately. It's going to be the Thunder against the Bulls. Thunder win. And just like that, Jimmy Butler's going to done, and that's going to be the end of the video. So thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good day. See ya.